Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of. I have given women more opportunity than I would say virtually anybody in the construction industry.
Think you can watch 10 minutes of Trump taking on woke culture without getting triggered? It's harder than you think. He's not pulling any punches, folks. Let's make a deal. If you smiled, learned something, or had an aha moment, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't leave me hanging. Did you hit it? Cool, thanks. Now let's dive back in. From gender identity to free speech, Trump's tackling the hottest topics in woke culture. But here's the real challenge. Can you make it to the end without changing your mind on at least one issue? Watch and see if you're up for it. Picture this. Trump's at the podium and the crowd's going nuts. He drops a truth bomb that's got everyone talking.
You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Human history, nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit.
You're gonna make the same if you do as good a job, he says. Boom. Just like that, he's taking on the gender pay gap myth. But hold up, let's rewind a bit. Remember that feminist who said Trump wasn't a friend to women? Yeah, that didn't sit well with him. He fired back, and boy, did he have receipts. Trump started listing off all the women he's put in charge in male-dominated fields.
Think that you're a friend to women.
I knew I shouldn't have picked her. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of. I knew I shouldn't have picked her. All right, so let me give you that answer right now. I respect women.
Like that woman who oversaw the construction of Trump Tower. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. Trump's not playing around when it comes to giving women opportunities. He says, I have given women more opportunity than I would say virtually anybody in the construction industry. And you know what? He might be on to something. Now, let's talk numbers. We'd love to show you some stats comparing women in Trump's businesses to industry averages.
I have had women working for me in positions that they've never worked in terms of construction and an identity without the parents' consent. The identity will not be new. In terms of so many different jobs, I had a woman who was in charge of the building of Trump Tower.
But here's the thing, those numbers are harder to find than a needle in a haystack. Makes you wonder why, doesn't it? But Trump's not done yet. He hits us with another zinger. I don't see gender, I see talent, and talent gets paid. It's like he's channeling his inner Oprah, but with a Trump twist. Now, let's get real for a second. This whole gender pay gap thing isn't as simple as some people make it out to be. We chatted with an economist who broke it down for us. Turns out there's a bunch of stuff that goes into it. Career choices, hours worked, experience levels, but you don't hear about that in the usual pay gap talk, do you? And just when you think Trump's done, he comes in with the knockout punch.
Many years ago, before anybody would have even thought of it, and did a fantastic job. And we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new. I have given women more opportunity than I would say virtually anybody in the construction industry.
Stop complaining, start competing, he says. Ouch. But maybe that's what some people need to hear? So how's Trump challenging this whole gender pay gap idea? He's flipping the script. Instead of playing the blame game, he's all about personal responsibility and merit. It's not about what's between your legs, it's about what's between your ears. And in Trump's world, if you've got the skills, you'll get the bills, period.
And do I get to choose what I do with my body?
Part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family. You're going to make the same if you do as good a job. You're going to make the same if you do as good a job, and I happen to be pro-life.
Trump's at it again, and this time he's taking on the whole gender debate. He's pushing a bill that's got everyone talking, recognizing only 2 genders. When he announced it, the crowd went wild. It's like he lit a match in a room full of fireworks. But hold up, let's look at what's been going on in the media lately. We've got all these new gender identities popping up left and right. It's like a Baskin Robbins of genders out there. And Trump, he's not having it.
I have a daughter named Ivanka and a wife named Melania who constantly want me to talk about women's health issues. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports because they know how I feel about it, and they know how I feel about women. I respect women. I love women. I cherish women.
Nobody ever heard of this stuff before a few years ago, Trump says. And you know what? He's kind of got a point. Remember when it was just boys and girls? Trump does. He grew up in a time when things were simpler, or at least that's how he sees it. We talked to this expert psychologist about why gender identities become such a hot topic lately. Turns out this whole conversation's evolved big time, especially in schools. It's like society did a 180 on us. But Trump's not buying it. He's all about protecting kids from what he calls confusing gender theories. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, he says, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history.
Hillary Clinton said he shouldn't cherish. Well, I said, I do cherish. I cherish women. My mother was one of the great people of the world, maybe the greatest ever. Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female women. And I'm going to take care of women. You know, Jeb Bush didn't want to fund women's health issues. You read that. You saw that. And then he took it back later.
Strong words, right? And it's not just Trump. We talked to some parents who are trying to figure this stuff out with their kids. It's not easy. One mom told us she feels like she needs a PhD just to have a conversation with her teenager these days. So why's Trump so convinced there are only two genders? It's simple, really. For him, it's about getting back to basics. He thinks all this new gender talk is messing with kids' heads, and he's not afraid to say it, even if it ticks people off. But here's the thing, whether you agree with Trump or not, he's got people talking, and maybe that's the point, because in Trump's world, being silent is worse than being wrong. He wants people to speak up, even if it means ruffling a few feathers. So here's the deal. Trump's hitting us with some real talk about free speech. He's saying we're all scared to speak up these days, and you know what? He might be onto something.
I will take care of women, and I have great respect for women, and I do cherish women. The roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique.
I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man?
We're afraid to talk about this stuff. That's not America, Trump says, and he's not wrong. People are getting shunned and canceled left and right for saying what they think. It's like we're walking on eggshells all the time. But Trump's not having it. He's telling us to speak up, speak out. Don't let the fear of backlash shut you up. That's not what America's about, right? We're supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave. So why are we all so scared to open our mouths? And here's the kicker. Trump drops this truth bomb. Remember, being offended doesn't make you right. Boom. Just because something hurts your feelings doesn't mean it's wrong. That's a hard pill to swallow for some folks, but maybe it's what we need to hear.